What's up, everyone? Stage Final here. Welcome to the second Finals Friendly Funcast. Due to popular demand, this one has been named Made to Order. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Actually, today we have a special guest, Scrimgore, the one and only.
Oh wait, that's me. I'm Scrimgore.
That's right. That's right. What is up, Scrim? How are you doing today?
Well, I woke up and I was like, oh wait, I gotta do this podcast like I said I would for my friend CH Final over here.
Yeah, thank you very much
yeah.
for joining.
I had to wake up early for this though. Well, I don't mind waking up early for a friend. Though, I guess some of you might consider, 6 p.m. my time not early, but it's early for me at least lately. My schedule's been a little wacky right now.
Yeah, well, so what time do you usually wake up?
It kind of alternates around, cause like I think on average I wake up 4 p.m. my time.
Yeah.
But lately I got into this one Vision. I've been playing super late into the evening. Like I played until 11 a.m. last night, or I guess today technically. So I've been waking up at maybe 6, 7-ish. So yeah, I had to wake up a little early because I wanted to be ready on time, have time to wake up and freshen myself up and everything.
Yeah.
For this podcast. So I think I only had maybe 5 hours of sleep, 4, something like that.
Oh
a little
my
less
God.
than usual.
It's actually a little insane. I honestly can't go through the day, or it's really hard for me to go through the day with just like 4 hours of sleep. But lately I've been getting that much, sometimes less. So, but hey, glad you're here.
Yeah, glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. All right, so we were talking before the stream a little bit about just things we could talk about question-wise, and you had some you found some interesting ones on Google.
Well, I'm not very I can continue a conversation.
Yeah.
Just kind of present, but I'm very bad at starting. So since you gave me the illustrious honor of asking the first question on stream. Before we started, I did Google deep questions to ask someone. And that's a very vague question. So I've gotten some very mixed results. I believe the test question I asked you before we started was pretty deep, to be honest. In fact, when I asked you, I remember you said that's pretty deep.
Yeah.
For the first question.
Yeah,
and the question was, if you died tonight, what would you regret not doing? And that's a pretty deep question. Sometimes you don't even think about it. But the list of questions that I got can range from that to really random questions. Like, why would you ever think this is deep? But maybe because it's so shallow, you think it's deep? I don't know.
Well, there was one about like, are you more of a mountain person or a beach person?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that was classified as a quote unquote deep question, but in my opinion, it just seems like a normal, everyday question if you want to know somebody. Like, hey, Scrim, are you a beach person or a mountain person? Right?
Yeah, like it's a preference question for sure. But I guess I don't know. Maybe I don't hang out around a lot of outdoorsy types, but it's just not a question I would really know. In fact, some of my closest friends, I don't really know the answer to that question for their preferences either, because it just never comes up. But I don't know, maybe you could think of like a symbolic reason, like, hey, maybe there's a deeper reason why as to someone would prefer a mountain or a beach. But I mean, for me, if someone asked me that question immediately, I would say neither. Say going outside. I don't have to put any thought into this.
But if you have to pick one,
I don't know, because like when you try and compare two things, you always want to weigh the pros and cons. But I can only see cons for both of them. It's just like, okay. Well, how about you? You answer me first. Yeah.
Personally, I'm a beach guy, 100%. Like, I love the ocean. I love the smell of the ocean, the sound of the waves. Right? The typical beach stuff that people will say why they love the beach. I can relate to those answers. Right?
Have you ever been to a mountain though?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah. Climbing mountains is a pain.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I'm not too big of a fan. Plus, like, I don't know. I like the overall aesthetic of a beach over a mountain, anyways. So that's why if anyone asked me that question, I'd definitely be more like, oh yeah, I'm definitely a beach person, not more of a mountain person.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, but what about you?
Well, see, okay, going back to what I was saying earlier, where I think of cons or for beaches, like I've always been a really good swimmer, or at least I used to be. When I was really young, I used to swim a lot, and actually I was nominated for a junior lifeguard. You take swimming lessons.
Wow. Okay.
But now I'm just out of shape and I can't do it. But regardless, I do like the water. However, with the beach, the main appeal to me wouldn't be the waters. I don't want to swim in filthy water where there's a bunch of other people and other creatures living in there. Just for me. And then beaches are generally associated with like summer where it's really hot.
That's true.
And there's like people everywhere, and I don't really like hanging around people.
That's true.
And well, I guess that's like the kind of cons for the beach. And I don't like of course I don't like the heat. I didn't know if I mentioned that. And then for the mountain, it's more secluded usually, which I would prefer. But then that would usually require me to be in a foresty type area. I guess there are mountains without being a forest, but I haven't really been to any. And then, as you mentioned, it requires a lot of hiking. And then I'd also usually associate mountains with like camping, I guess. And
for me, it's the mosquitoes.
Yeah, like mosquitoes too. Like, I mean, I was
like
kind of
insects in general. Just give me the heebie-jeebies. All right.
Yeah, okay, I definitely agree with you there.
Yeah.
I hate insects.
Yeah. I remember, we were trying to eat outdoors, right, up in the mountains. And luckily I was sitting next to the fire, so the insects would try to stay away from the area, but like all my other friends were eating out at the other spots, way far away from the campfire. They had, insects all over them, flying all over the place. They can't enjoy their food. They can't enjoy the atmosphere, and it's super annoying.
That's true. I definitely, I just when I'm sitting in my room, there's like a bug in my room, which I'm just super agitated with, just flying around. So.
Definitely.
And I remember, like, what was it? When Blaze Blue Continuum Shift came out, I pre-ordered it from my local feature shop, which I guess is like the Canadian Best Buy, it's out of business now, but whatever. That's where I pre-ordered it from. And in 2011, I couldn't like readily ask my parents to drive me there, but luckily, it's within walking distance. It was like a 20-minute walk. But I just really wanted to play Blaze Blue, so I pre-ordered there. And then on the release day, I walked to the store, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we don't have it." So like, okay, well, when will you have it? Like, I don't know, check in tomorrow. So pretty much, I would go back there like every single day. And while the 20-minute walk in the summer is kind of annoying, but what made it really bad was that particular year, my city had like a big mosquito infestation.
Oh my god!
So I had to walk through like clouds of mosquitoes every day to get there. In like 20 minutes. Yeah, it was the worst.
This man is dedicated to his Blaze Blue.
And in the end, there was like some really small indie game store that had the game, and then some friend bought it, and then he sold it to me for like double the price, and I was like, heck yeah! So I got it, and then I also got my pre-order copy, so I had just 2 copies of the game.
Well, at that point, you could have just waited. Instead of having to pay, you just waited for the pre-order copy, right?
Well, yeah, but I wanted to play it as soon as possible. Because like it would have bugged me, because like that day that I bought it from my friend, some of my friends, like you might know him, Gray. He also happened to get a copy of the game that same day. So if I didn't get my copy that day, I would have been like extremely agitated, like seeing my friends play that game, and I'd be like, I can't play, please.
You could have. Oh, I don't know how far was Gray from you at that time.
It's like a 4-hour flight.
Okay. Well then, I was gonna say maybe you could go to Gray's place and play, but flying 4 hours just to play Blaze Blue doesn't seem to.
Buying the game at double the price.
Right, buying the game at double the price is probably way better. Yeah. God, it must be nice though having started since CT. I kind of wish I started since CT. It definitely. Oh, what's up?
I was like, did you know about Blaze Blue when it was CT?
I didn't. I knew about CS, but only because a friend of mine played it. And I'm like, oh shoot, what are you playing there? I'm like, oh, I'm playing Blaze Blue Continuous Shift. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, right? At the time, he was a Noel main, I think.
Well, Noel was pretty good.
Yeah. And I was just watching, and Oh, so this was the chosen title. That is correct. This was the chosen title, made to order. But what was I saying? Was playing Noel. I didn't play. I was just watching him. And I didn't know that Jin was in the game either. Because if I saw Jin, I would have been like, "Oh damn, let's give this game a shot." But no one was playing Jin, so I missed out. I could have started at CS potentially.
Yeah, actually, I mean, Blaze Blue's never really been the most like super hyped game or whatever you compared to like Street Fighter and other fighting games like that. But I just find it funny because when I started playing Blaze Blue, that's how I met like a lot of my closer friends just through Blaze Blue. But apparently, another friend of mine who I met him through Blaze Blue, but that's only because like we were all playing Blaze Blue. He's like, okay, I'll play this game too. But apparently, even before that, he knew the game, like someone else was playing as well. This is back in CT. So CT was like, I mean, I guess it was kind of randomly pushed because I don't know if you've ever looked them up, but if you bought like the collector's edition for Blaze Blue Calamity Trigger, it came like this whole extra DVD, like only for the English version that had like tutorials for all the characters hosted by some I guess well-known fighting game players at the time. Each video was like narrated by a different person and going over the characters' normals and how to play them, etc. And I guess like they kind of pushed it as well. But nowadays, like if a new Blaze Blue game came out that wasn't cross-tag, like when CF came out, for instance, like nobody knew about Blaze Blue CF that wasn't already a Blaze Blue player.
That makes sense. Shadow's like, oh damn, I'm a basic bitch. I got you final. Yes, that is me. I mean, in Guilty Gear, I played Kai. In Street Fighter, I played Ken. And
this guy sitting in a white room wearing a white sweater, nothing there. Pretty basic, you know.
I'm hella basic. Well, here's the thing, right? I think I mentioned this last stream or last podcast, Funcast. Sorry. But technically speaking, like this isn't my room. So when I move out and get my own place, then it's not gonna look like this. It's not gonna be like hella blank and just white. I mean, the white jacket is probably gonna stay the same though, but but not definitely not the room. I'm not gonna add some custom stuff to the room. I hope. Oh God.
All right. What would you add as room decorations then?
Well, so a friend of mine, when I went to Anime Expo, he bought me a super cool Final Fantasy VII Cloud poster. Or it's not a poster. It's like what are those things that you roll?
The wall scrolls?
Yeah, wall scrolls, I guess. It's one of those. It looks really, really good. So I'm definitely gonna have that up there. Pasha bought me a he bought me a Jin from BTS poster. I don't.
I remember that. Are you gonna put that up?
I don't think I'm gonna put that one up. How about this? Funny enough, Kasha also bought me a Girls' Generation poster too, so I could have the Girls' Generation poster right next to the Jin poster.
Ooh.
Yeah. So people will know that I'm totally a K-pop stan. It's true. Not really.
Are you?
I'm not. Okay. I'm Korean, but I'm not like into K-pop and stuff. Colin said, oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say a lot of people I know who are into K-pop, or maybe it's just says more about the people I hang out with. But the people I know who like K-pop, speak English and only English. So you have the power to understand what they're saying when you listen to K-pop. It's a power that most people I know don't have.
It's a blessing and no, it's more of a curse. It's a curse and a curse.
I mean, and that's probably true. Like I like a lot of Japanese music, so I'm a huge weeb, but I don't know if I would still like them if I could actually understand what they're saying. So.
Well, okay, so here's the thing: the lyrics I don't care for, right? I'm like, okay, cool, these are the lyrics, nice. But the thing is that back in high school, so there was a K-pop club, and people figured out that I was Korean, and there were only like 2-3 Koreans in all 3 years of the student groups there, right? So they found me, and they sort of dragged me into that club, and I had to teach them Korean and stuff, as well as translate lyrics. I didn't have too much of a good time.
So you were just kidnapped and forced to help these people.
Yeah. See, being Korean, it's a blessing and a curse. But for me, it's been more of a curse than anything.
I mean, I can see that. Like, I have my own unique heritage, and
Yeah.
while I guess I haven't been forced to be like, "Hey, you gotta help me with this," it's just usually one's race doesn't. I don't want to get too much into this because it can be kind of sensitive topic, but
Right.
I just wanted to say that due to my own race, I am half East Indian and half Filipino.
Mhm.
Though it's mostly the East Indian side that gets the notice because of my name.
Your name
I
is hella
kind
cool
of
though.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, my name is Faisal,
It's
Faisal,
super cool. That's hella
and
unique.
it's unique, sure, but that
Yeah.
also means that people can't pronounce it properly when
Well,
they first read it.
I pronounced it properly first time. I don't want
Because
to brag.
you know my pain of going to school and no substitute teachers and no one who reads
Oh
you
my
for a
god,
second or
I got
second.
plenty of stories for just people butchering the living crap out of my name. Plenty of stories
Yeah,
for those.
I mean same here, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was just gonna say usually like the name and like the skin color sometimes brings some negative
Yeah.
light. Like when you go to airports, for me, I've said this before, but like it's always like, oh hey, it's random inspection time.
Mm,
But I don't know. That's just how it works sometimes.
yeah. I know for me, I definitely experienced stuff like that when I used to live in Georgia. Because
Oh,
yeah, so so I'm from Korea, but when we moved to the States, the first state we lived in was Georgia because we had some friends there. And let's just say it wasn't the best of times, especially like, how old am I? 24?
yes.
So 17 years ago. 17, 16 years ago. Not the best time. I don't know how it is now. I kind of don't want to go back, but hopefully it's gotten better. Whoa. Yeah, Shadows Lurk. Colin says, I can send you a nice poster of me for decoration. It'll be majestic. Colin, please do.
I do have some pictures of Colin. We met before, and you take pictures when you go on vacation. But I don't even know where to start to like create your own poster. Like, how would you get like a piece of paper or film like that big?
Well, I think I'm pretty sure you can go to stores that have those fancy printers, right? Be like, oh, I want to make a poster of this image here. Can you just print it out? I'm pretty sure that's how it works, right?
I mean, I don't know. I've never gone to make a poster.
I haven't
Maybe.
either. Yeah. That's what I'm
Like
assuming.
as far as like we're back to the topic like wall scrolls. I have 2 in my room, and then I have like
Nice.
3 posters, and then I have one fairly large drawing I drew when I was like in grade 5 that I just taped up on my wall, and it's still here.
What is it?
I remember when I drew this picture, we were like pretty much free time. We could just do whatever we want, and we were each given like this huge piece of paper, just like if you wanted to do anything with it. And on this piece of paper, I just drew a big random amalgamation of random things on it. Like there's no coherency to what's on this picture. All I can say is like the only thing you can see is like there's 2 mountains in the background, and that's it. And besides that, there's a bunch of random stuff here. Like there's like a tank shooting mole people. There's a dinosaur here attacking an old man. One of the mountains has a face on it. There's stuff like that. There's just so many things happening.
You were quite creative as a child.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's I don't know what I drew. I can't remember what I drew during that age. I actually have no idea. Actually no. I think I knew. I drew like really, really bad pictures of like the Marine from StarCraft because I was super into StarCraft at the time when I was in 5th grade. I think that I thought their armor was like the coolest. I still think their armor is super cool.
Jim Raynor?
Oh, Jim Raynor, yeah.
I don't actually know too much about StarCraft lore, but I do know Jim Raynor.
Yes. He's a very big player in the StarCraft universe, but
is he a Marine?
He's a well. His starting hero unit was the Vulture, but he could also be a Marine. Yeah, okay. And I think in StarCraft 2, he's mostly the big buff Marine. So his Marine model is like bigger than the other Marines. It's kind of funny.
I'm just trying to think of like what a StarCraft Marine looks like. So like if it looks like anything like Gym Rainer, then I guess I know.
Yeah, it typically looks like that. Just not as intricate, I guess. Because all the other Marines are not main characters, so they don't deserve the special
gotta
armor.
make your main character stand out.
Yeah, exactly. They don't get the special like black colored armor. Instead, they get the crusty blue ones. God, I played too much StarCraft actually. Now I think about it.
How much is too much?
Well, that's a great question. So I believe I started at the age of 5 or 6. And obviously as a kid I was god awful, right? But my uncle actually used to be very, very good at the game, and he would teach me just every now and then, to the point where I got very good at like 10, 11-ish. 12, I think, maybe 12. We're talking APMs of 400 to 500.
Ooh, fancy.
But because I've been doing that for so long, I destroyed my wrists. So I have wrist pains at the ripe age of 24.
I have another, or I guess I had another friend who was kind of like that. I don't know if he played like a disgusting amount of StarCraft, as you said, but I just found it interesting that some people like, oh, I played so much games when I was young that, now that I'm older, I have like carpal tunnel or something.
Yeah.
It always felt weird to me because like I guess I didn't play anything super extensive or movement heavy, but I've never had any issues for sitting down just like playing for hours and hours. But I guess maybe it just comes more with.
Well, because for me it was I would wake up, maybe like 9 or 10 ish, and I'll just play throughout the entire day until 10. Again, so I'm playing for 12 hours. Sometimes I play more than 12 hours, and imagine doing that straight for 10 years.
What about school?
Well, it wasn't every day. I would go to school, and then after I finished school, I would keep playing. So then we would extend that hours. I didn't sleep much as a kid.
Because like that was essentially me with Halo. When I started getting into Halo, like I would wake up, I guess I would play a little bit of Halo before school. I woke up at like 6 a.m. Back in the day when I used to wake up early. I go to school at 8, get back at 3, play Halo until like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
Wake asleep and rinse and repeat.
Right.
It was like that for literally years.
Yeah. What's up, Radish?
Welcome to the podcast.
Made
to order without the maids.
Made to order without the maids, although it could be.
Wink, wink, nudge,
wink,
nudge.
Please don't. Yeah. I definitely regret playing that much StarCraft. I've won tournaments and stuff, and I've won money, but the thing is that I feel as though it certainly made me realize that as a competitive player, I'm a very toxic person. So it's probably best if I stay away from the competitives for any game.
I wouldn't say I'm like I'm an outwardly toxic person when it comes to being competitive. I'm more of like an inwardly toxic person, which is also why I don't usually stick around competitive anything really. Like the closest thing I really participate in is something I know that I'll be able to, even though it's competitive, quote unquote. I know I could take it easy. Like whenever there's like a local Blaze Loot tournament, I know that there's going to be any competition kind of deal, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Or like I guess League of Legends, but even then, it's pretty toxic.
For me, I was outwardly toxic. I'll go into that later. Oh wait. Oh yeah, is it true that StarCraft is super popular amongst Koreans? It used to be. So about 15 years ago ish. No, maybe more. Because when did Brood War come out? 98? Oh my god. But yeah, Brood War was possibly like the biggest esports thing in Korea, right? It was the go-to game to play. Everyone played it. Super popular. And I think like StarCraft made a big impact in just esports in general because of how big it was back then. And stuff like professional gaming or whatever, it wasn't all that popular, right? Or that concept was just, oh god, pro gamer, oh that's a risque career path you're going there, buddy. Right, that it was like that back in the day. But I think StarCraft really helped invigorate the esports scene. So pro gamers, right, coaches, all that for video games has become.
StarCraft is like really old now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was in elementary school, I went to like a gamer kind of hangout area for like Yu-Gi-Oh. It was called Gamers Lair, some locally owned place.
Yeah.
But I saw people playing StarCraft, and it's like I didn't think anything of it at the time. But like I was like super young, but it's like, you know, thinking back, I'm like, man, that game's really old.
Actually, yeah. When did StarCraft come out? StarCraft's release date: March 31st, 1998.
Ooh, I was like 5 years old.
I was 2 at the time.
Oh.
And then and funny enough, Brood War, the expansion, came out December of 1998.
Oh, that's actually a pretty fast expansion.
Yeah. Well, so the thing about Brood War was they made some balance changes, they added some upgrades, and what else? They added new units, so I don't think it was too straining on the development. But it's like that unless it's still like that unless you play Fortnite or something. Oh, yeah. Streaming is also a big thing now. Too bad Blizzard be slipping nowadays. Blizzard has been slipping ever since they got bought by Activision, right? Yeah.
Well, actually, I didn't know they were bought by Activision, but as far as I know, Activision ruins everything they touch.
Yeah,
but
they were bought by Activision.
I've never been a big Blizzard gamer. I know like people like love Blizzard, like they're a big like multi-game, multi-franchise company, but like there hasn't been like a single Blizzard like IP that I've really liked. So I mean, I've never really been one for Blizzard. But...
Well, I personally, so I played StarCraft Brood War. I played Warcraft 3 a lot too, back in the day, because when Warcraft 3 first came out, like, damn, check out these graphics, right? It was so amazing. Just the amount of detail that everything had. And nowadays, it looks very crusty, but back then it was super cool. Especially the cinematics. My god, I have never seen cinematics so beautiful than from like Warcraft 3. That was insane. You try Warcraft Reforged? We don't talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't follow Blizzard, but at least I know about that one.
We don't talk about that here.
You know, though, on the topic of games, there's actually this kind of like quote-unquote survey type thing that I have stored on my computer. It's like 30 video game questions that I ask all my friends, and they give their answers, and I record them. And so like we kind of look back like years later, see if our answers change or anything. If you want, we could do that sometime. We can even do it on stream right now if you want. It might take up a decent chunk of time.
I'm down. All
right, well, want to do it right now then?
Yeah.
All right, let me bring up the thing.
The questionnaire.
All right, so there are 30 questions here. If you want, I can go over the answers with my friends as well, so we can just compare and contrast. But so, question 1: what was the very first game you've ever played?
It's a typical Korean answer, but it was actually StarCraft. Well, so how that happened was my dad was playing it. Yeah, even my father was into it. And I'm like, "Oh, Dad, what are you playing?" This 3-year-old Chanye popping up. He's like, and at first I was frightened because, you know, in that game there was blood and all that jazz, right? People getting blown up, all that, whatever. And for a child, it's very scarring. But it wasn't until I was 5-ish years old I was like, "Dad, I want to give this a shot." And he's like, "All right, son, allow me to teach you the ways." And my dad would only use cheat codes, so like Operation Seawall, Black Sheep Wall, for those of you who know, yada yada, power overwhelming, right? All those cheats. But you know, I just those were definitely my more fonder days. Picking up StarCraft, playing with my father, and all that. But yeah, StarCraft was my first game.
That's actually a unique answer because on the list of answers I have some of my friends. I don't know if I should list off their names here if people on the stream don't know them, but I guess you would know them, so it's up to you. But I guess for instance,
we'll just leave it ambiguous.
My first answer was Mario, like the original Mario, Mario Bros.
Yeah.
We know Kasha. His answer was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
And I guess Shadow's lurking in the chat. I can mention him since he's in the chat. His answer was Minesweeper. So
Minesweeper. Wow. Okay.
Minesweeper, yeah. A few answers here. I have 2 answers for Mario 64. 1 answer for Super Mario 3. So very Mario heavy. And then I have 1 answer for Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Seriously?
So yeah, for your first game.
That's actually really hype. Huh. Alright. So yeah, my answer definitely is a lot more different. I took the RTS route while everyone took platforming or fighting or Minesweeper, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, like my mom owned like the original like Nintendo system.
Yeah.
So that was like that was just my go-to console. And funny because my evolution for video game consoles was I played my mom's original Nintendo Entertainment System, and then from that I got a Game Boy, a Game Boy Color, and then a GameCube. I missed like everything in between, which is actually a lot of stuff. A lot of people have like fond memories of, I don't know, playing on like their N64 or their PlayStation 1 and 2, but I actually didn't have any of that.
Funny
I did
enough,
eventually get...
so I didn't have an N64 either. So for me, it was I had a PlayStation 1, then a GameCube, then a PlayStation 2, and I was stuck at a PS2 for a really, really long time. I don't think I got an Xbox 360 until my senior year of high school, if I remember correctly. So, yeah. I mean, I mostly played on PC anyways. It wasn't too big of an issue for me.
I did eventually get a PlayStation 2, like after my GameCube, so kind of like the reverse order. But like I went straight to GameCube, so I did miss out on a lot of like those childhood games. People were like, "Oh, this is like the best." Like people really like their Final Fantasy 7s. You were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
I've never played it, and I could never go back and play it. It looks too dated.
It's too it's beyond crusty. I would say play the remake, but technically speaking, they're not even done with the whole story for the remake yet. So
I was gonna give it a try, but I wanted to be finished first.
Yeah, I don't know when it's gonna be finished, to be honest with you.
I'll see you in 2029 if the human race isn't dead yet.
Here's the hoping. Fingers crossed.
Well, on to the speaking of newer games though. The next question is actually, what is the most recent game that you purchased?
Tabletop Sim.
Oh yeah, I guess you were playing it yesterday. I didn't know you like just purchased that though. I thought you might have already had it.
Yeah. Tabletop Sim. That was my most recent purchase.
Yeah, you were streaming for quite a while yesterday. I didn't. I had it on.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. So yesterday I didn't expect it to last like 5.5 hours. I was playing. We were playing. What was that game called? Like Hero or the Dungeon? I don't remember. It was the last game that we were playing. Before that last game, we were playing Betrayal at the House on the Hill, and we played 2 games of that. And Jacob left because he was also participating with us. So I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, we're probably done now, right? And then Anya brings up another game. Like, oh, that's a surprise because it's super late for Anya and Sherman since they live in Israel, right? The game's out, and we played one game. What, Sherman, do you remember what it was called since you were there? It was actually a really entertaining game. But the thing is that that one game, which apparently lasts 15 to 25 minutes, lasted 2.5 hours, maybe more. So, Boss Monster, that's what it was called. Yeah, super fun board game, by the way, guys. I highly recommend it. But that definitely came out of nowhere. Which is why the stream lasted like 5 hours.
Okay, yeah, I remember you were telling me about that. Like, unfortunately, I did miss a lot of it, but I just found it interesting how long that stream went on for.
Yeah, we were stuck at one game in Boss Monster.
And unlike the first question, where there's only one answer, you can only have one game you've played first. Since I've actually done this questionnaire with my friends many times over the years, the answer for this one changes depending on the date, right?
Okay.
So, Just looking around, like I know my answers. I guess I have them recorded as well.
Hmm.
When I answered the question, the first time I answered it, I said Record of Agris War 2, which means the first time we did this must have been in like 2012 because I bought Agris War 2 specifically because my friend Gray he liked regular Agris War 1. I was gonna go visit him
Yeah.
that at that time, so I bought it and I was gonna bring it to his house so he could play it, and he didn't like it, but whatever.
Oh.
So and that was Persona 4 Golden,
Uh-huh.
which was I bought in 2017. I bought it for my PlayStation Vita.
Okay.
I happen to have a Vita because I bought it for a different reason. I bought it for Tales of Hearts R mostly.
Okay.
But since I had it, I was like, let's see what other games I can find. I thought, oh, I've never actually played Persona 4. So I bought it there and I experienced Golden because I think that was before now, like it's available on Steam. That was the only time you could play P4 Golden.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like the only person I knew who played it because everyone played the original.
How'd you like it
had a
though?
Vita. I like Persona 4 a lot.
Yeah.
Like I've played the very first one I played was 5. And the reason why I played 5 is because it was new at the time, 2017,
Mm-hmm.
and it was right around the time where it came out. I actually had laser eye surgery. I had really bad eyes. In fact,
Okay.
my eyes still kind of suck.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's visible now. So after I just finished my surgery, I was like, one of the reasons why I stopped playing RPGs, despite it being my favorite genre of games, is that I physically have a hard time reading the text on my TV
Oh.
because I'm blind. But now that I could see better, I was like, I want to buy an RPG, and Persona 5 happened to be the newest, the hot stuff going on at the time. So I bought it.
Yeah, I
My
heard good
first
things about it.
yeah, my first Persona game. I absolutely loved it. It was my first Persona game. I love the gameplay actually more so than the characters and the story. But
Mhm.
and I was really into it. I actually 100%ed it. I got the platinum trophy and everything.
Mhm.
And immediately after that, maybe not immediately, like maybe 2-3 month break, I bought Persona 4 Golden because I just love Persona 5.
Yeah.
I finished Persona 4 Golden while with 5 being the more recent game. It had a lot more bells and whistles to it.
Yeah.
It was good. I prefer the gameplay for 5 a lot more. The characters and the story for 4 I found far more enjoyable.
Okay. Interesting. 'Cause
And then after that-
I love the story for 4 and the characters as well.
Yeah. I found those way better than 5 personally. The gameplay was better than 5. And then after that I went back and did 3 as well. Which I feel like was lacking in both characters and story, but I think the ending was the best out of all the Personas I played. I never went back and played 1 and 2, but who plays 1 and 2 anyways?
That's the meme. like Persona 1 is Persona 3, Persona 2 is Persona 4, Persona 3 is Persona 5. Yeah, 1 and 2 don't exist. What are you talking about?
And then the next answer I had was in 2019. I bought Data Live Rio Reincarnation, which I guess it's fine to say now. It's been like almost a year, but Yubel, he hosted a tournament a while ago in.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he hosted a BlazBlue tournament. It was in like October-ish.
Yeah.
2019, and I entered under a fake name and I won. And then with the money I got from winning the Steam money, I bought that game, which I still haven't finished.
Will the name be disclosed or will it be forever hidden?
I'm not gonna say what it is, but if anybody wants to look it up, if they're interested, you can. And then I guess I've only asked this question to Shadowslurk twice because his first answer was Pokemon Conquest, and then 2015 Super Smash Bros. 4. Very Nintendo heavy. And then Kasha's answer was Indivisible.
Indivisible.
Oh. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
asked him this question, so I'll give you a bit of a time frame of when I asked Kasha this quiz. But on to the next question. If you have anything else to say, what is the biggest WTF moment you've experienced in a video game?
WTF moment experienced in a video game? That one's a hard question for me. So does it have to be within a video game, or can it be related to a video game?
No, it can be related to a video game. Like maybe I read this is the most toxic person in League of Legends or something. Something like that. Something that you've experienced made you go WTF while playing a video game, essentially.
Well, I wasn't playing per se, but I was watching. It was a Korea versus China StarCraft set, and one of the Korean players was known for their BMs. IRL BMs as well as in-game BMs, and what he did was he beat the Chinese players with his feet. Like, no joke, he was playing with his feet. And at one point, he was pretending to be asleep too, while playing with his feet. And I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, I gotta be like this guy one day. No, okay, well, I don't want to be like that, but that was definitely something. I'd never seen that level of BM before in my life until that moment, and I don't think that anything will top that. So yeah, that was probably my most WTF moment right there. If actually, you guys could probably find it online. Maybe search Korean player playing with feet or whatever. So Korean StarCraft player playing with feet. That's a really weird thing to say, but is this the 30 question of Scrim? It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Yes,
Yeah.
I've been going over your answers as well. Shadows lurk, if that's fine with you. Yeah, I mean, being BM is I don't know. Of course, it's BM. Like,
Yeah.
it's bad, but it's just also just so good. I think I told this to you, but I don't know if you people on stream know about this, so I'll go over it again. But last year, was it last year? 2019, early 2019, I think. I went to a somewhat local tournament. It was in another city, but it was like a 2-hour drive. And that city and my city have a kind of a competitive kind of vibe to it. Like even like outside of fighting games and everything, both are very large cities in my province.
Mm-hmm.
And my city is the capital, but some people often mistake the other city for being the capital because it's just really well known.
Yeah.
And that also extends down to like fighting game community, where we have two fighting game communities who are very competitive with each other.
Mhm.
And this is a tournament held in their city, and then it wasn't just for one game; it was like many different fighting games. And for like our group of like main fighting game players, we held like a contest. Like I think there were five main games, and whoever won whichever teams or whichever city's player, I guess, won the tournament for the best of 3 out of the 5 games, would treat the other whoever won would get treated by the other team's loser, like for dinner, essentially.
Okay.
And we actually ended up winning, so that was good. I think we
Nice,
won. We won Dragon Ball Fighters. We won BBCF because of me, and we won. I think it was Under Night.
Oh, nice.
It wasn't the whole city. It was just the teams that we had. Yeah, the people who came, like the foreigners versus us versus their fighting game team.
Yeah.
But so I won BBCF for us, and in particular, they've come to our city and played BBCF with us before, and their best player, or at the time their second best player, he's pretty good, to be honest. He's a B13 player. And he's better than everybody in my city other than myself and maybe Caliber, but Caliber wasn't there. And I beat him, and they were like, man. We totally would have won if our best player was here. So I was interested in that. And that was in 2017. So now in 2019, now that I was in their city, this time their best player was here. So this is my first time playing him, and I was interested to see how it would go. So we played, and I wasn't particularly impressed. He played Hibiki the first game, and I played Tager, and I blew him up.
Okay.
And then we fought in winners finals. So he went down to losers, and then I saw him again in grand finals, and he switched to S. And during this time, like, since I knew I could beat this guy, I went super BM for like the final set, because someone was like, Undernight isn't starting soon, so could you buy some time until it starts? So I was like, sure, for my friend. So I started throwing the matches in grand finals.
Oh my god.
I was about to win, then I would just like stop trying, essentially, so I could get it to the very last game. On top of that, while I was playing, I would turn around and start talking to the crowd behind me. While he was comboing me, I'd just be looking around, just doing whatever. And then at the very end, I hit him with like the Mega Tech Wheel Rapid Taunt into grab.
Oh my god, you're such a bully, dude. Look at this guy.
And that was their best player, so I was like, I absolutely had to ruin that guy's day.
You gotta show him his boss.
That's true. But, that was a little off topic. That wasn't actually the biggest WTF moment in the video game, for me at least. I remember, for me though, it was back when I used to play Halo 3 a lot. I played fairly competitively, not like tournament level, but like I played a lot of ranked. And there was one particular game of doubles I was playing with me and my friend, and you've heard of like lag switching, but like these guys were like strategically lagging the game. Like they would turn on their lag switch for like half a second whenever like the fight would start.
Yeah.
So like they'd always be in favor. So what we had to do was we had to like when we felt like the lag coming, we would have to like hide ourselves, wait for like to go away, then pop shot them out. It was like super strategically dealing with the lag, and
Damn.
it was so frustrating. But I felt like I was playing a game within a game, but we actually managed to pull it off, which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Win it. God, I hate hackers. Ruin the game.
I know Shadow's Lurk's answer was going through 2 distortions with Daifunka. And you know, that was against me. This is back in the day when Ragna had Bloodcane. He did Daifunka Raw as Bang in CS. And I was like, oh, I'll Bloodcane and then Devoured by Darkness him to dodge with Daifunka with all his invul. But he actually went through both moves and then hit me. And I was very sad. In fact, I had the replay saved on my Xbox.
Oh. We gotta see it one day.
And Kasha's answer was when the ping in League of Legends spiked to 40k. Which I was also in that game for. We were playing League and the ping actually spiked to like 40k.
Was it the server issues?
I don't know if it was just the server or if it was just this game. I didn't like look on Reddit or anything. But yeah, the ping spiked so high. Like it was actually as unplayable as you could possibly imagine. And Kasha actually managed to kill somebody in that leg.
Oh my god. How do you can't even play in 40,000? That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. He just like walked down bot, and after like 5 minutes, it just said he killed somebody because there's someone down there.
Was everyone lagging? I'm assuming
everyone
so, right?
lagging. Everyone was at 40k.
Okay, that's hilarious. I'm glad I wasn't in that game because I would have been like tearing my hair apart.
It was so bad.
Jesus.
All right, what is your favorite video game series?
Favorite video game series?
Yes.
Probably Soul Calibur. Even though I don't play it much anymore. But personally, I like Soul Calibur the best. Only because it contains my most favorite character of all time in any video game, Siegfried.
Okay.
Yeah. And I loved his overall like character development and story. And I liked Soul Calibur's story as well, so a lot more. I think it's like my favorite fighting game plot. Not that time going back and forth shenanigans, the possibilities of the continuing shifts, yada yada yada. Too big brain for me. Although Soul Calibur 5, that one was we don't talk about the story for that one. I'm pretty sure 6 was like, oh no, what happened? What do we do with 5? Retcon everything. Let's go back in time.
Yeah, retcon everything.
Retcon everything. Let's go back. And so I don't mind that, to be honest, because I really like the plot of the older games as well. I just hope they don't mess it up more.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair answer. I do know you always liked your Soul Calibur, but I didn't actually know it was like your favorite of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, for this question, I have all different answers from everybody, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
Like I got for myself, it's the Tales of series.
Mm-hmm.
By far my absolute favorite RPG series, though. I guess the 2 most recent Tales of games I've been pretty on, to be honest, but they're kind of developed simultaneously, so that's it gives me kind of some hope for the next one, even though it was kind of delayed. Hopefully it will be better than the 2 most recent ones.
Right.
Besides that, we also have someone saying Final Fantasy. We have someone saying Marvel vs. Capcom. We have Kasha, who said Fire Emblem.
Yep. Okay, I can see that.
We have Halo in here. Shadow's Lurk said Legends of Zelda. So yeah, all very different series.
Very diverse. Very diverse, and God, what's wrong with me? I cannot speak today. Hello, Adroth.
Greetings.
Fire Emblem Omega Lol, dude. I personally like Fire Emblem. I like the gameplay aspect of it a lot.
I've only played 3 houses.
Yeah. The sometimes the plot can be super questionable, especially Fates. That one was super bad. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Fate's story was just really awful, and I'm like, damn, this is ugh. Actually, so do you know the different routes for Fate's Scrim? The two
No, I don't
different
know
ones?
anything about Fire and Blood.
Okay,
Three
so
Houses.
yeah,
Just
okay,
haven't
okay,
played.
yeah, okay. So Kasha played Birthright, which was the more Japanese-esque light side, and then I played Conquest, which was the more dark medieval side. Uh, but I think Conquest was just a lot better gameplay wise. I think story for all routes was trash. That specific game series, but Three Houses though, I like this plot for Blue Lions at least.
I only played Golden Deer.
Fear the Deer.
That was the only one I played. Like I started my Blue Lions playthrough, but I was like so burnt out because my one playthrough took like 110 hours. So
Okay.
I was gonna take a break before I started the Blue Lions. I was like, I need to take a break, so I did, and that was like in February. So I guess technically my break could be over, but I just haven't really had the time to restart it yet. But I do plan on doing all the routes sooner or later.
I played the other routes and I really hated Red Eagles. I hated the Red Eagle Edelgard route.
Was it the Black Eagles?
Or is it Black Eagles? Black Eagles, sure.
I
don't remember.
Like,
It's been a while since I played.
I'm the least interested.
Yeah. But like, so there's two routes for that one, right? For the Edelgard route, one where you can join the church, and the other one where you join Edelgard. And I absolutely despise the Edelgard one. Like that was my least favorite route. The church route was a lot more entertaining. The Golden Deer route, it was alright, but Blue Lions, damn, that was best route, best story, best lord.
Alright, for the next question, what is your favorite multiplayer game?
Favorite multiplayer game?
Yes.
So like right now or of all time?
Well, I mean, it could be right now, it could be all time. Usually I think everyone answered all time, but
okay. Well, right now definitely Blaze Blue, Central Fiction 2. 2.0.
Okay.
But all time? I definitely miss Brood War days. Playing multiplayer. Yeah,
Right.
I have a lot of good memories playing on the Icy Cup ladders and everything. Going up in the ranked. Bro, are you only saying Blue Lions because Dimitri's just medieval Jin? No! He's better than Jin, character-wise.
Actually, you and Kasha are really good friends. You've known each other for quite a while, right?
Uh-huh.
Can you guess what his answer is?
His all-time favorite multiplayer game, right?
Yeah.
Melee?
No.
Is that close?
No.
Was it also Blaze Blue Central Fiction?
No. But my answer was Blaze Blue.
Okay.
Shadows Lurks was League of Legends. And actually, quite a few people on this list answered League of Legends. There's a Halo 3 in here.
Did Kasha also say League of Legends?
Yeah, he did.
I didn't want to say it, but because so I can definitely see that Kasha that hit Diamond around senior year of high school, freshman year of college. He was really, really into League. I can definitely see why he would pick that answer.
There isn't really too much to say on this one. It's just, what's your favorite? Mine's Blaze Blue. I don't really have much to say on that. I've played Blaze Blue for years. I hate fighting games, but I love Blaze Blue. You also agreed with me. You said Blaze Blue is your favorite, at least currently. And then StarCraft, in the past, we've been over that.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next question. What is your favorite level or mission in a video game?
Favorite level or mission? DMC3. Devil May Cry 3. Dante versus Virgil. Very last fight. Boss fight.
Ooh, that's a very specific answer.
Yeah, that is my most memorable boss fight level, whatever, that I've ever played in any video game. Because like just the overall transition from the music going into the fight, right? It's just so smooth, and like I love both Virgil and Dante. They're cool characters, and it holds this very special place in my heart.
I know you like Devil May Cry, and you
I
know you
do.
get like all the memes and stuff. I know you
Yeah,
played Devil May Cry 5 like when it
yeah,
came out and everything. And
yeah.
but like how'd you really get into the series or anything? Why do you like it so much?
I always like comboing people, whether it is in fighting games or any other games, right? Um, so a friend of mine recommended Devil May Cry to me. He was Devil May Cry 2 was out at the time, so it was like, oh, whatever. The game was, and I played a little bit of it. I'm like, oh, this is whatever. But then 3 came out, and my friend's like, oh my god, they fixed everything. It's so good now. I'm like, really? So I picked it up, played 3, and I put a lot of hours into that game because man, it was so much fun. Level designs were great. Just the overall combat flow was really good. Boss fights were really fun. It's a good series.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never actually played any Devil May Cry game before, personally,
Mhm.
but I've seen them all because like right before Devil May Cry 5 came out, my friend Gray, he played through all of them, and I like watched him play them all live on stream.
Yeah.
So we experienced it together. We're gonna call it at the same time as well. So I've seen them all, at least one playthrough every game. But I wasn't really too particularly like impressed with some of them. Like I do agree Devil May Cry 2 was probably the worst just by watching.
Yeah.
But they were just okay, I guess. But Devil May Cry 5 was really entertaining to watch.
Well, the thing is that if you watch combo videos for Devil May Cry, like any of the games, it's insane. The things that people come up with, it's so cool. And I wish I could do them, but I'm not good enough. Or I haven't put enough hours to really practice that sort of stuff. Yeah, the MC4 combo videos too. Those are insane.
I remember when I was watching Gray play Devil May Cry 2,
Mhm.
there was like the fight with like the helicopter on top of the
Yeah.
building. I don't really we didn't really know how you're supposed to do that fight. So he just kind of sat there and shot it with his guns the whole time. It took like 40 minutes to kill it, and then it died, and that was it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for this question, let's see. The Shadows Lurk's answer was his first answer was the Ancient Cistern from Skyward Sword. I never played Skyward Sword, so I wouldn't know what that is. And then his next answer was Mission 81 Battle on the Bridge from Final Fantasy 12 Tactics. Again, I'm not too familiar with those games, but can you guess Kasha's?
Make me guess all these things.
I might just tell you, but I just thought that you would know your friend.
Well, the thing is that he likes a lot of different games, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint one. But is it Nintendo related?
It is.
Okay, I had a feeling for that one, but as for what level, is it from Pokemon or Fire Emblem? Either of those?
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Ooh, you're doing good so far, narrowing it down.
Fire Emblem. Is it from Awakening or Fates?
No.
Okay, so it's Three Houses.
No.
Oh no! It's fuck. Which one was it? Is it like Blazing Sword or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, Blazing Sword. I might know, but I don't remember the stage or the level. I can't answer it.
You said the final chapter.
Final chapter?
Yeah.
Against the dragon, right? Or whatever.
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't played that game either, so.
Okay.
And my answer was Mission 8 from Halo 2.
Mission 8 from Halo 2.
I just remember I'm not one for speedrunning. I don't like speedrunning in general. Like doing it myself, I don't mind watching speedrunning if it's something other people are doing. But I don't like it myself. But I played that mission so much that I could actually speedrun it. So,
well,
like,
so what was the
mission?
mission?
What?
Yeah, go in depth. What was that mission about? Or what did you do?
Well, I guess you're not too familiar with the Halo story. And like there's nothing really in particular that stood out about this mission that made it really amazing. I don't even have any fond memories about it. In fact, if you asked me what I liked about this mission, I couldn't even really tell you. Like, it was just really fun to go through very quickly and just kill the. I like the layout of the mission, and I don't know, when I was young and I was more easily entertained. I could just play that mission over and over again for no reason. It was just the most fun mission to play nonstop for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But in contrast to that, the next question is, what's your least favorite mission in a video game?
Least favorite mission in a video game.
Well, least favorite mission, level, stage, etc.
Okay.
Because I know Kasha's answer was the Brinstar deaths from Super Smash Bros. Melee. And then Charles' answer was the last level in Mario and Luigi's Partner in Time.
Okay. Mine. What would mine be? I need some time to think about this one.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was playing StarCraft Brood War, the Terran campaign. And this was in a mission where you have to hunt down the Vice Admiral that you've been working with, but it turns out that you were double crossed and the Vice Admiral was in the right, and you killed him pretty much without good. There was no good reason, right? You just lost a really good ally. And I think that was the first time I experienced betrayal as a child in a video game, because the lieutenant betrays everyone, or betrays the group, and he kills the Vice Admiral there. And I'm like, oof, that hit the old Kokoro, dude.
I wonder when my first time was experiencing something like betrayal in a game. Like, I know even to this day, unless like I'm not taking the game too seriously, like I still don't like it whenever I'm betrayed in anything. Like even if it has nothing to do with me, like I'm not thinking like I'm watching like an anime or something, and the main character is like betrayed by somebody, like I just hate that.
Yeah.
But I guess it's the only thing that I take kind of seriously.
Yeah.
My answer is Mission 9 from Halo 3, which I particularly remember as the mission was Cortana. It's a very flood-based level. Everything looks the same, and it's just like a pain to go. There are enemies everywhere. You have no allies. It's just it's just a big pain to go through. And I played Halo a lot, so going through the mission a lot is just kind of annoying.
Yeah, that's fair. Interesting.
What is your favorite ability / attack from a video game?
Favorite ability / attack from a video.
So to give you a reference, Shadows Lurk's answer is Kagura's DP from Blaze Blue.
Okay.
Hello, free game, no complain. What's up? That's me, Scrimgore. And my answer was the Light Spear Attack series from the Tales of Attacks. Tales of series, yes. And Kasha's answer was the Assassin's Last Breath skill from Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
Okay. I think mine would definitely be Siegfried from Soul Calibur 4, his finisher move when you break their guard. He charges up his sword and like brings it down and shatters it, like ice spawns everywhere. I think that was super cool.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's his finisher.
Yeah, the finisher.
Yeah.
Was it Critical Edge or something?
Critical Edge, yeah.
It's your favorite of all time.
That's so cool.
Is it because I see where it's cool?
Yeah, you got me. Literally cool. But no, I think it was like because it looked hella painful, right? I'm like, damn, that's how you finish, like that, or that's how you finish a fight like that. That's how it's done. It's over.
It's like a cooler version of Jin's Astral.
Pretty much. If Jin's Astral was that, I would like that. I would like that a lot more.
Would you do it more?
I would do it a lot more. Way more.
Yeah, free game, no complaint. We are going over. I have this questionnaire. It's like 30 video game questions I ask my friends every now and then. And the question currently is, what's your favorite attack / ability in a video game?
Yeah.
But if you don't have anything else to say, we can move on to the next question.
Good for me.
Which was, I believe you kind of already answered this in one of your favorite things. But what's your favorite boss battle in a video game?
Yes, Virgil.
Virgil, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the reason why you said that's your favorite mission, because
Yep.
your favorite boss battle.
Yep.
Uh, for me, mine is Abyssion from Tales of Symphonia. He's like the hardest boss in Tales of Symphonia, and I just remember just fighting him this nonstop, because sometimes when you get either like, yeah, I guess you should know this, when you get good enough at a game,
Mhm.
you crave a challenge, right?
Yeah.
So fighting the hardest boss a lot and just practicing against him and just just playing that one a lot. That was always my favorite fight.
Okay.
Uh, So I thought that's really all there is to it. Like, he was the hardest fight. I remember the first time I went through it as well. That was that was rough. I was playing with a friend, because Tales of games you can actually play with a friend in local.
That's
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
you can have your friend control another
I
character.
remember you should
So
telling me about it. Yeah.
yeah, since I don't, you never played one, but they're like it's a, if you've seen like any gameplay of it, which you might have if you've watched my streams.
I have.
There is a yeah, like the battle system is very like action RPG heavy. Like, you have
Mhm.
combos and spells and stuff. You move around, live action battles, and you can have your friends control the characters if you're playing in person with them.
Uh-huh.
Or I guess now you can play with them with Steam remote play. But yeah, regardless, I was playing with a friend at the time, and we were at his house, and we got to that fight, and we spent hours on the fight. Like, it was so fun. It's funny because when I played Tales of Symphonia, I was really young. Like, we're talking like grade 4, grade 5, young kind
Oh
of
my
deal.
god. Yeah.
So I played through the game just like hitting attack button, and I didn't really read or understand the system mechanics. With that fight, we played it so much that it taught me how to play the game. Like, I learned how to combo because I was playing that fight so much.
I think like levels or bosses or enemies that require you to learn a certain mechanic is great design, in my opinion. Uh,
Yeah, but it
but
wasn't even like it taught me the mechanic. Just because
yeah,
I played it
it
so much,
was
I
just
learned
yeah,
the
yeah.
game. Yeah, for Shadows, like, your first answer was Felthanos the Eternal. And then your second answer was Revenant from Final Fantasy 12.
Let's see
And
what.
Kasha
Uh-huh.
and Kasha's answer was the Black Knight from Fire Emblem
Yeah, I can see that one.
Paladins.
He really likes that one. Let's see. What is Cat saying? Favorite boss battle over here is Eggman during Doomsday Zone and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That shit blew me away as a 4-year-old. Okay. Favorite boss gotta be Kuze from Yakuza 0. Either that or Data Marluxia from KH3 Remind. Interesting.
I didn't actually play any of these games. I'm not too. I play a lot of I spend a lot of time on games. Like, the visual novel I'm currently reading, I think I'm breaking like 80 hours now. I only started playing like last week,
Oh.
so I play a lot. But I don't play a lot of different games. I just play a lot of one game.
Right.
So all of these games you guys are mentioning, I don't have any experience in them. I'm just a one game man kind of deal usually.
Yeah, same here. I don't really expand my horizons too often. What's up, Serpent?
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of Kamidori alchemists, right, Chanye? Why me?
I'm not playing Commodore. Kasha is playing Commodore.
Yep. I told Sherman that he started flipping out.
Commodore was a really good game. I played that one a lot too. I 100% of that game, but that was back in 2016.
Oh.
And I was the one who convinced Kasha to play it as well.
Yeah.
Because he was looking for a single player game, and I was like, oh, you should play this game. Because I can't convince any of my other friends to play it. But it's very similar to Fire Emblem, so I figured I could entice Kasha that way.
Yeah. You know what that means if you 100% Commodore, Chanye? Wink, wink. Yes.
Yeah. The next question though is, what is the most challenging thing you've ever done in a video game?
Most challenging thing I've ever done?
Yes.
Play tournaments for Brood War. God.
Tournaments for Brood War?
Yeah. And climb the Icy Cup ladder. That one's annoying. My goodness. I've won, so like I said before, I've won tournaments, I've won money. I think cumulatively I've won probably about $5,000 worth of prize pool, I guess is the best way to put it, about, give or take, because I played in a lot of tournaments. And the thing is that what the hardest part wasn't winning the tournament per se. The hardest part was me going up to their faces and be like, "Hey, Lamau, you're actually garbage," right? Because that's the kind of person I was back in the day, right? I was extremely cocky, extremely overconfident. I'm not like that anymore. I hope. If I am, please let me know. But, but like I would actually BM people IRL.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was really bad. You still are OO. Thanks.
I mean, the closest thing I've ever done to BMing someone in real life, is kind of like what I said in like the one Blaze tournament, or
Yeah.
like I would actually go up to somebody like say, "Hey, I can beat you with one hand," and then I do beat them with one hand.
Yeah,
That's about
that's true. That's true. I actually one time I just gave the prize pool away to my opponent after I won.
it. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I'm like, here you go. I don't care. Like all I care about is just because at the time all I cared about was just winning. I didn't really care about anything else. To me, money didn't mean anything. It was just a validation of being a really good player.
But then you get to win and have the
But
money.
okay, yeah. Well, no, yeah. So it was meant to be insulting. Yeah.
I
But
I
yeah,
don't need petty
yeah,
coin.
yeah, take the shekels. You need it.
My answer is the Halo 2 War of the Worlds mod. So my friend downloaded, not downloaded. He had an action replay for Halo 2, which you know what action replays are. And you could upload like modded levels there. And there was one mission where it was just War of the Worlds, where you essentially you're put on a big bridge, and there were just a disgusting amount of enemies just running at you from the bridge, and you had like no cover. And then once you like fought all the enemies off, they'd start sending vehicles at you and everything. It was really
Oh
difficult.
my
But I
god.
remember I sat down for like a week straight, just doing it nonstop until I finally managed to beat some guy's random mod. And that was probably the most difficult thing I've ever done in the game.
That actually sounds
Uh,
really annoying. Wow.
Shadow's Look's answer was 100%ing Final Fantasy 12.
Well,
Yes.
that's an interesting one. Okay.
And Kasha's answer is the Maxwell fight in Brave Frontier.
I never played Brave Frontier, so I don't know that one.
Regular 12 or Revenant Wings. Yeah, it'd probably be Revenant Wings. I don't know how Shadow's Lurk would be on Final Fantasy 12. I just know a lot of his answers are going to be for Revenant Wings when I ask him these questions.
Oh. Yeah.
But the next question, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but I'll ask anyways.
Okay.
What is the game you spent the most time playing?
Brood War.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That one is just that one's straightforward. Where
Yeah. That's a freebie.
you know, although my original answer was Tales Symphony, I played that game so much. Like as a 60-hour RPG on average, I beat that game like 30 times. But I think
Wow.
at this point, I've probably played more BlazBlue.
Like the
than
series,
Tales
a
Symphony.
series as a whole, right?
Well, I mean, like even CF, I probably played more CF now.
Wow.
I've played a lot of CF.
Wow. Okay.
But in general, it would normally be Tales of Symphonia.
That's fair.
Let's see. Shadow's answer was originally Call of Duty 4, and then he changed it to League of Legends because League of Legends is a huge time sink, and that is also Kasha's answer.
Yep. League of Legends. Yep.
Because sooner or later, that's going to be the game you play the most if you continue to play it.
Don't let it happen to you guys.
Yeah, don't be like us.
Yeah, don't be like us. If you start League of Legends, stop. Get help.
But the next one is, what is the hardest game you've ever played?
Hardest game I've ever played.
Yes.
Hardest game I've ever played. Oh my god.
Yes, you don't have to have me tell you, but it looks like Shadow's did answer. His answer was Robotron 2084. And that is his answer I have written down here. My answer was I want to be the guy. Kasha's answer was Super Smash Bros. Melee.
I think mine was Devil May Cry 3 before the special edition.
I just punched myself in the face. Before the special edition, you said?
Yeah. Because
what made the difference?
you just died way faster. If the overall difficulties was just extraordinarily higher than special edition. Special edition, they had to adjust the balance because it was just too hard.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's probably my hardest game I ever played. Like OG DMC3, super hard.
Okay, I actually didn't know it was really that hard.
Yeah. Well, for me at least.
Like,
I don't know what it was like for other people.
okay, okay, that's fair. That's fair. I don't really have to go into detail on mine. Like, I want to be the guy. It's far the hardest game. I usually don't like to play hard games.
Yeah.
I prefer it whenever there's a difficulty option on any game I play. I always pick the easiest one. So I don't. And that game is like designed to be hard. There are probably harder platformers out there. I'm not saying that this is the hardest ever. It's just the hardest I've played because I don't usually go out of my way to challenge myself.
Right.
So, the next one is, what's your favorite story in a video game?
Favorite story?
Yes.
Siegfried story. From Soul Calibur.
Siegfried.
Yeah. This is his overarching story.
It's Siegfried's overarching story.
Yeah, that's my favorite story.
Is that gonna be your answer?
That's gonna be my answer.
Okay, okay.
No fighting games? Okay, if it wasn't fighting games.
I mean, I guess looking at these answers I have written down here, no one really said any fighting games. So I mean, fighting games are fine, but
favorite story. The World Ends With You.
oh, I didn't know you played that game.
I did, yeah.
I was vaguely interested in it, but I also just too lazy to play it. And like, I guess I would. It's a game that I'd probably want to play at some point.
It's a good game. I recommend it.
No, like nowhere like near,
Yeah.
like anywhere at the top of my priorities list.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm interested in it.
Yeah, and that's fair.
I didn't know you. I didn't know you played it.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a really good game. Really good story too. Man, you can't play truly on the emulator. You need like 4 hands.
Says 999. I actually I played the first 999, but I couldn't really get into it. So I don't know. Maybe I didn't give it a fair chance. I might want to play it again because I did play like his most recent game, AI the Somnium Files, which I absolutely love that game, but I couldn't get into 999. I don't know. Maybe one of these days I might try it again. But my answer was since we counted visual novels as games, my answer was Love Love Alternative, which is by far my favorite thing ever. There is no other form of like fictional media that I enjoy more than that. So by extension, it was also my favorite story.
For chat, is that the real Wi-Fi final with the drip? The drip means
the drip.
The drip. What you were saying?
Well, I was just gonna say that well, I guess to answer Free Game's question, if he was asking me what the game is about, it's hard to go into too much details about spoilers, but it's a 3-part visual novel series. There's a lot of spin-offs, but I only read the trilogy. The first one, it's a rom-com essentially. Nothing too particularly fancy about it, but I did love the characters a lot in the rom-com. But the way they set up the overall plot is interesting because in the second game, the protagonist wakes up and he's been, I guess, kind of isekai'd into a different dimension where it went from being a rom-com to be like a huge military drama.
Whoa.
where Earth has been destroyed by aliens, and like all the people he knew were pretty much drafted into the army rather than being, just high school students.
That's interesting.
And he has to adapt to the life of being, I guess I went from being some average high school student to, oh no, the world's destroyed, and now everyone I know is a hardened military soldier, and there are aliens everywhere. Right. And then the third game itself kind of concludes all that. So the first game actually introduces you to the characters. You learn all about them through the rom-com setting. The second game kind of introduces the plot of the series, which is, the real plot is everything is, alien destroyed, everything, stuff has like that. And the third being the conclusion is just the protagonist has to, like, he settles into what he has to do and everything. And despite me making the third game sound very simple, it's by far the longest one. I remember someone uploaded the entire game to YouTube
Mhm.
and broke it up into 30 minutes per episode,
Yeah.
essentially. So a little longer than your average anime episode. And to read the game from start to finish in episode time, that was roughly about 120 episodes. So it's a very, very long novel.
Oh my
But
god.
it was even me who says it's my favorite thing ever. I never read it twice. I do want to read it twice, but it's a big commitment. But it's by far the best experience I've had reading any kind of story ever.
Wow.
I don't want to go into too much details because again, it's very complicated, and also if by any chance what I said entices you to read it, anyone listening, then definitely I'd recommend it.
Yeah.
It's on Steam, so you can get it.
You should type the name in chat.
Yeah, it is Muv-Luv. It's MUV-LUV.
Muv-Luv.
It's very long. It's also a visual novel, so definitely not for everyone.
Yeah.
But if you know, it comes with my highest recommendation. So.
Okay.
Shadow's Look's answer was Final Fantasy 12, and Kasha's answer was Fire Emblem Path of Radiance.
Yep, I can see that.
To answer your question, Sherman, there is a lolly there, but actually, despite me being an avid fan of lollies, she was actually not the best girl.
Oh, please also use the code Scrim for a 50% discount.
Actually, I guess you could consider me a pretty big weeb, but I don't buy figures. But the one figure I actually purchased for myself is of the main girl from Muv-Luv. Oh. She would actually be like my top waifu. I actually purchased a figure of her. And my picture on Steam, not Steam, sorry, my picture on Twitch, my profile picture is that character, the girl from Muv-Luv. So if any of you have been to my stream channel before and you saw my profile picture, that's who the character is.
Fair. Oh yeah.
But yeah, on to the next question though. What is your favorite scene or moment in a video game?
The opening Brood War cinematic, where Admiral de Gaulle and Vice Admiral Stukov are looking down from their battle cruiser, and they're seeing a colony overrun by Zerg, and they're just monologuing, or they're talking to each other, and then the battle cruiser, or the pilot's like, "Oh, Admiral, the colony is about to overrun. Should we intervene?" And the Admiral's like, "No, take us into orbit. We've seen enough." And the battle cruiser just leaves, and there's like the one Marine standing there looking up at the battle cruiser because he needs help, but he's not gonna get it, and then he starts getting swarmed by Zerglings. That opening will just, I can remember every detail of it so vividly.
Sherman, the question is not openings, it's your favorite scene or moments. So we did not have that question before. You might have thought of something similar, but no, it's not the same thing.
Yeah. That moment there.
Yeah, though it's funny, like your answers. Well, I don't know anything about StarCraft or stuff like that. So it's very interesting to hear about. It just really shows me that you really don't play a lot of games.
I don't.
A lot of these StarCraft.
I don't.
My friend Shadows Lurk, his original answer was Van versus Felthanos in Final Fantasy 12, and then he changed it to the Tales of the Abyss ending.
Okay.
Which is spoilers, so if you have not played Tales of the Abyss, I will not go over that. But a bit of a shill here. I played through all of Tales of the Abyss on my stream, and the VOD is still up.
Hey.
If you want to go check it out.
Check it out, yeah.
My answer was Kratos killing Kavar in Tales of Symphonia. It was a pretty cool scene. Like, I kind of grew up not playing too many violent games before I started getting to Halo. So I guess Tales of Symphonia was my very first quote-unquote violent game. And even that was like there was no blood or gore or anything, but I guess it was one of the more violent scenes where he just kind of, even when he fights Kavar, he just like actually just stabs him. There's no blood, but that was just so out of nowhere for me. So it stood out to me as being just like really badass, and the line he says was really cool. Yeah. And then after that, like when we go through the entirety of the game, we understand like why that scene was so brutal, at least in the standards of the game, and that just makes the scene all the more better. which I won't say why, 'cause it's spoilers. So that scene just always stood out to me as one of my favorite scenes.
Oh, that's really cool. Grace says, tune in and hear Scrim advertising the stream right away. Classic Scrimgore.
Yeah, that's me. Gotta check out my stream. Follow me at
Twitch.tv/Scrimgore.
Follow my, give my Patreon a shout out.
Yeah, his OnlyFans, his grinder.
Now that my friend Greg's here, we can go over his answers too, though.
Oh, yeah.
But before that, we have Kasha's answer, which was, when Ike becomes a general of the new army in Final Fire Emblem Path of Radiance.
Okay.
And actually, out of everybody, Gray actually has the most answers out of everybody. 'Cause I think I've done this quiz with Gray the most, so he has a lot of different answers.
Okay.
But they're all his first answer was first meeting Magus and Chrono Trigger. Then in 2015, his answer was when Bahamut fucks everyone up in Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
Then he changed it to the Neo X Death transition in Final Fantasy 14. Then he changed it to the Yukov ad phase and Golden Bahamut transition in Final Fantasy 14 as well. I'm pretty lot of answers from Gray were Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. A lot of Final Fantasy 14 stuff.
Yeah.
Alright.
But the next is, what's the funniest moment in a video game?
Funniest moment in a video game?
Either something that happened in a game or something that happened because you were playing a game.
Bacon screaming, "Oh yeah!" No. When he was reenacting like Ragnar versus New in Spanish.
I remember
that one was hilarious. God, I remember. There's clips of it in my stream, but like I don't know where the hell it is because there's so many clips now, so I can't really find it. But
they're like this. But if you're, I mean, it's probably near like some of the top because they has a decent amount of views. But
yeah, I can't get the tee voice out like whenever I think about that, right?
Actually, funny enough, 3 of the answers here are from Blazely.
Okay.
I guess I met a lot of my friends through Blazely, so that's funny. But Shadow's answer was playing CS Bang when he first came out.
Okay.
Because in case you don't know, CS Bang was top tier.
Yeah.
And he played Bang in CT a little bit. I don't really think he had a dedicated main too much in CT, but he started maining Bang in CS. And just seeing how broken he was, and just destroying my friend who was the best Blazely player amongst us because his character got nerfed from New to Lambda and Bang is being buffed. I know my one friend was just so frustrated. It was just pretty funny. I do admit that.
Okay.
And my answer was also Blazely related, which was well, when I first entered my very first local Blazely tournament, there was this player called Black Captain. He was a Hakumen player. He was probably like the 3rd best player in the city at the time. And my one friend, who was the best player, who was actually the friend I was talking about earlier, he astraled Black Captain into losers in winners finals. And then he looked at me and he was like, "Ha, beat that," because my friend never astrals anybody ever. So I fought Black Captain in losers finals, and then I astraled him all 3 games.
All 3 games?
All 3 games, and I was like, I did beat that. And poor Black Captain over here got astral just 4 times in a row.
Oh my god.
It was just so funny destroying him.
It's so sad. I'd be demoralized.
Gray's answer was trading with Scrimgore's astral and then astraling him. Because I was playing Jin, and in CS2, Jin could barely combo into his astral. Like I think there's like one really big way of doing it.
Except
no, like he couldn't even grab into astral.
Really?
Yeah. Because in CS2, no grabs are special cancelable. So he couldn't even grab into astral. So I just did my astral raw as Jin. And then Gray playing Tsubaki, he hit me with 5B as I did Jin's astral, and we actually traded. So technically, I think you would win, but there's sometimes we trade with Jin's astral and then just nothing happens, right?
Yep.
So we traded, I lost, and then he comboed it into an astral, and then I died for it, and I was very sad.
I'm sorry.
my astral. Well, I guess it's my fault for raw astraling, but I would have at least preferred to at least just be punished, not actually have my astral trade.
Right, right.
And that also stands as the only time in all of BlazBlue history where I saved a replay that I lost. I never save replays that I lose, but that's the only replay I saved that I lost.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Jade Astral sucks, dude. Makes me sad.
And Kasha's answer was having a punch fight with another group in PUBG.
That does sound pretty funny. Oh man.
Ooh, this is a question for you, Final.
Okay.
But what's your favorite main character in a video game?
Main character in a video game? Oh my god. I thought you would never ask. Do I have to answer? I mean, the answer is obvious.
Is it Siegfried?
Yeah.
Is it Dante?
It's
the Devil May Cry series?
It's featuring Knuckles. Yeah. No, no, Siegfried. 100%.
Okay, so you answered Siegfried a few times, but you never told us why you like Siegfried.
Okay. So
no, Yasuo.
Yasuo, yes, Yasuo, bro. How'd you know? I was waiting for that answer. Yasuo was my favorite main character. But okay. So let me just go over why I like Siegfried so much. Okay. A little deep, but in Soul Edge, Siegfried was a very, very cocky, overconfident piece of garbage, right? He was a jerk, all that jazz. And it kind of coincided with my life, where when I was young, I was also the same way. And then Soul Calibur 1 through 2, he turned into Nightmare, and like he did awful things. And I'm not gonna lie, when I was younger, I also did really, really awful things, really terrible stuff that I'm not going to talk about. But it was until I saw him in 3 and I read up on his lore, right? How he went through all this nonsense, how he turned evil, killed all these people. And then at 3, he managed to separate from Soul Edge, the cursed sword, which caused him to kill all these people. And just how he went into like this whole redemption arc kind of a deal, right?
He's like very relatable.
Very. Because I also realized in my life that, oh man, I'm a really awful person, and I need to sort of turn things around. And all that jazz, classic. Just
that's fair.
Stop being a bad person, right?
One of my favorite anime characters. One of the reasons why I like him so much is also because he's very relatable to me, so I can understand it.
Yeah.
And actually, you know that character. It's Kota Mine from Fate Stay Night.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But my answer for the games, at least, was Kratos from Tales of Symphonia. He was not the main character, but he was of the main cast, so I count that. He's also very integral to the plot. I won't go into. I can't really say why I like him so much because that's huge spoilers. But
right,
I just like him. Like, even not counting the spoiler part, he's just a huge badass. He's also like the cool, like
I think he's really
mentor
cool
type character.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that archetype.
Right. Right. He's talking about the time he killed me, was exiled from our village.
Yeah.
You don't tell people that, Gray.
Shadow's Lurk's answer was Luso from Final Fantasy Tactics. Gray's answer also hopped around a lot. It was originally Frog from Chrono Trigger to Megas from Chrono Trigger to Estinian from Final Fantasy 14 to Zavid from Tales of Zestiria.
Okay.
I don't know like half of those characters.
Me neither.
And Kasha's answer, actually, can you guess it? It's his favorite main character.
Main character? Ike?
Oh yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
It's Ike from Fire Emblem.
Yep. Ike is a really good main character.
I only know him from Smash.
Oh, well, if you played his game, you'll agree with me, but he's an extraordinary main character.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite villain from a video game?
Virgil.
Is he a villain? Yeah, I guess. I mean,
technically speaking, yeah. But I feel like Virgil he's such a cool villain. He's always yeah.
He's so motivated.
He's so motivated. He's always motivated. We could all learn from a little bit from Virgil.
Yeah, I mean, I can respect that. You know, looking at my answer, I would definitely change it. So this shows how old mine is. Yes, yours was Luso, Shadow's Lurk. Yeah. But my answer was initially Duke from Tales of Vesperia. I did think Duke was super cool, but I would not say he's my favorite villain. As for who it is, I'd have to probably put some thought into that right now. But I like Duke, but he's just not that good of a villain, to be honest.
That's fair.
Colin's answer was the Judge of Wings from Final Fantasy XII. Oh my God, Gray has a lot of answers for this. His original answer was Caius from Final Fantasy 13 2.
Okay, that's a good villain. That's a good villain.
I didn't know you played Final Fantasy 13 too.
I know the story, and I've seen most of the. I've seen gameplay playthroughs. Sorry, and I think Caius was a really good villain.
Yeah, then he switched to Magus from Chrono Trigger, then Ultros from Final Fantasy 14 2, then Nidhogg from Final Fantasy 14 2, then Emmett Selk from Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
A lot of Final Fantasy 14 once again.
Fair. Is this a talk show? How much are you getting paid? I'm not getting paid. I wish. And Kasha's answer was Dahlia from Phoenix Wright. Oh. Yeah. Actually, you know, for me, it's a tie between Virgil and Joshua from The World Ends With You. Now I think about it. If you can consider Joshua as a villain.
I don't know anything in the games. I couldn't really say.
It's hard to say. But
who's your favorite side character from a video game?
Side character from a video game? Favorite side character, huh?
I like my answer.
What was your answer? Well, I think
my answer was Iron Taker.
Iron Taker. I guess Jin is considered a main character, huh?
Yeah, Jin is the main character.
Okay. That can't be right. You hate Taker. My favorite side character is Yone. Yeah.
I hate playing as Taker, but I think Taker's actually a pretty funny dude as a character.
Yeah, I think he's all right. He's a man of science. Side character. That's the thing, right? I never cared too much about side characters. But I'm pretty sure if I just gotta think.
Well, I guess while we wait, I'll go over everyone else's answers.
Please do. Please do.
Shadow's Lurk's answer being the Scuttle Crab from League of Legends.
That's a good answer.
He's the juggler, right?
That's.
Gray's answer was originally Chocobo Lina from Final Fantasy 13.
Okay.
Then he changed it to Oriana's Ball from League of Legends.
Okay.
Then he changed it to Yotsuyu from Final Fantasy 14, and then he changed it to the Dark Turtles from the Tales of series.
You know what? My favorite side character, Yone's ult.
Yone's ult. It's not a character.
It's a character in my heart. I had Hecarim enter mid few times because he didn't get Scuttle, but he's never there. Oof. Ooh.
And Kasha's answer was UMP 45 from Girls Frontline.
Okay. Then my favorite side character would have to be Joshua again. For my last answer, yeah.
Joe, both a villain and a side character.
Yeah, it's really interesting. His overall character is really unique, and I like it. He's actually my favorite character in that game.
Who is the most annoying video game character?
Annoying video game character?
Yes.
Kingdom Hearts 2. The one of the Organization 13 members where he the water guy. He's like, dance, water, dance. That kid. That guy was annoying. Because living 11-year-old Chanye had a lot of trouble beating him for some reason.
I didn't know you played Kingdom Hearts. So
I stopped taking Hearts too. I mean.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts before, despite me really liking RPGs or JRPGs in particular.
Right. It got too convoluted for me, so.
My answer is Tao Kaka from Blaze Blue.
That's a good answer. That's an annoying character.
Not only is Tao Kaka annoying to fight in game, but she's also like an annoying character, like as a character.
You know who else is annoying? Noelle. That character is also annoying.
No.
Yeah.
Noelle is a high tier wife.
No, not in my house.
Shadow's answer was Hope from Final Fantasy 13.
Also annoying character, I agree.
Gray's answer was originally the 10-year-old Hubert from Final Fantasy. Sorry, from Tales of Grace's F. Oh my god, too much Final Fantasy here. Then he changed it to Children from Infinite Undiscovery.
Okay.
Then he changed it to Final Fantasy 14 Random Healers.
Random.
And then he changed it to Ota from AI the Somnium Files.
Okay, that's fair.
And Kasha's answer is Udyr. League of Legends. But you just played Udyr yesterday.
Oh, never change. Never change, Corey. Funny how he's an Udyr main.
You've become what you hate.
Yeah. Great answers. I love them all.
Who was your first video game character crush?
My first video game character crush?
Yes.
Huh.
Siegfried.
First video game crush. I'll do the other answers.
Shadows Lurk's answer. Actually, you did not say tier. You said, Fran from Final Fantasy 12, and then you also said Saber from Fate Stay Night visual novel. Gray's answer was Lightning from Final Fantasy 13. Then he changed it to Magus from Chrono Trigger.
Okay.
Then he changed it to Nova from Heroes of the Storm.
Okay.
Specifically Heroes of the Storm Nova, I guess.
Wait, but this is your first one, right?
Yeah, but he's just changing it, I guess, every time. and then he changed it to Yotsuyu from Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
And Kasha's answer was Rid from Toho.
Okay. Mine will probably be Cordelia from Fire Emblem Awakening.
Okay. Well, how come?
I think I like the personality a lot. Like very, very stoic, you know, dutiful, honorable, all that jazz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like those aspects, that character.
I never went over mine, but it was actually from the very, very first visual novel I played, which was Hoshizara no Memoria, or Memory of a Starry Sky. That was the very first novel I played. That's what kind of got me into it. And it was one of the main girls from there.
Okay.
I couldn't really tell you what makes her stand out, but like even now, like when I look back, it's just like she's just like a basic random character you would see if you watched like any random harem anime type show.
Right.
But this was like when I was like really new into like the whole harem aspect. Plus, it was also my very first visual novel, so she just kind of stood out to me as the character that that I just had my first crush on, essentially.
Ah. Okay. Fair. That is fair.
Yes.
I was gonna say something about Cordelia, but on second thought, maybe I should.
I'm interested.
Well, no, because there was another thing about so in Fire Emblem Awakening, there was a romance system, right? You can S rank people and marry, yada yada, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that Cordelia couldn't marry the main lord, even though she liked the main lord, and that was like a trait that I related to. So, yeah.
This next question is actually pretty similar to what I asked before, but they're still kind of different. Because originally I asked you what was your favorite scene in a video game.
Mm-hmm.
This one in particular is exactly what is your favorite animated cinematic from a video game?
Favorite animated cinematic?
Yes. So it could be a scene, like you said before, if that's still your same answer, but I think everybody else had a different answer. So
Soul Calibur 5 opening scene where Siegfried and Nightmare are fighting.
I actually really like the Soul Calibur opening. I remember 2s and 3s very well.
Yeah.
But I don't remember Soul Calibur 5. I don't know if I've seen Soul Calibur 5. But
personally, it's the only good thing about Soul Calibur 5 for me. Other than like it's the most balanced Soul Calibur. Well,
okay.
But like it's just there's lack of content. But the opening was hella good.
And Yesha was like, this is the answer where you said Bahamut blowing out the sea sky in Final Fantasy 12.
Okay.
My answer was the Tales of the Abyss opening, which I think I still stand by that. The Tales of the Abyss opening is really, really good.
Fair.
Gray's answer was quote unquote the Final Fantasy 13 moment. I that's what he told me to write down. I don't know exactly. Every time I bring this up, he always knows what I'm talking about because of course he told me right, but I don't know what scene he's talking about in particular.
Oh wait, I might have another one. From Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, Angeal and Genesis versus Sephiroth. That one was also really cool.
Why was that one really cool?
Dude, it's just like 3 dudes with swords duking it out. It's hella cool with like magic and everything. Hell yeah. That's my jam, dude.
And Kasha's answer was when the Black Knight kills Ike's father.
Oh, that was sad. That was a sad one. Damn.
Which game has the best soundtrack?
Best soundtrack? Final Fantasy series in general.
That's not a game, but I accept it.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I can list any of the Final Fantasy games, and I'm gonna give you the soundtrack, and be like, "Hey, listen to this." And I'm most of the time you're gonna be like, "Yay, this is pretty good. This is good."
Okay. I didn't. Okay, so fun fact: I've only ever played one Final Fantasy to completion, being a 10. It was okay. I played when I was young.
Yeah.
I played the first disc of 13, but then the second disc didn't work, and I never played past it. So that's it. I guess I played like maybe 4 or 5 hours of Final Fantasy 14, but I'm not too big a fan of Final Fantasy in general.
Yeah.
But maybe the music's good. I never actually gave a fair listen to. There's some songs from 14 though that I've heard just from watching Great Play that I do like.
Yeah. 13 had a really amazing soundtrack in my opinion. It's just that the overall game was pretty lackluster.
My answer though was Baten Kaitos. It's I don't know if you know it. I don't know if anybody in chat knows it. It was a fairly obscure JRPG for the GameCube. The composer was the dude who does the Tales of games mostly. Sakurai. And I don't know, just the music for that game really stood out to me. I like it a lot. I have like 3 tracks modded into my BlazBlue. Looking back on the game now, it sucked. The battle system was very interesting. The story was pretty alright.
Okay.
But the voice acting was really bad. Really, really bad. It didn't bug me at the time, but looking back on it, it was bad. I do want to replay it at some point, but even then, despite what hazy memories I may have, all these years later, the soundtrack still sticks out for me. I really like it a lot.
That's fair.
But on the topic of Final Fantasy, Colin's answer, if I call him in Shadows Lurk, I just name dropped you, I'm sorry. It was the answer is Final Fantasy 13-2 for him.
That's all.
Gray's answer is Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
It's another Final Fantasy. And Kasha's answer was Toho Scarlet Weather Rhapsody.
Toho games have generally really good music in my opinion. Like the soundtrack is generally really good.
I've never played a Toho game. I've only just actually seen you play. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm not the best player to watch for Toho.
I saw you beat it. When there's that
Yeah.
one telling you were playing on easy though, it was kind of weird.
No, no, no. It was a bug, visual bug.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
worry about it.
Uh, the next question is, what is your favorite art style in a video game?
Their art style?
Yes.
Probably 2D like sprites.
No, I mean
Or,
like
like
which game looks the best to
oh,
you?
which game looks the best to me? Probably. Can I say Guilty Gear Strive?
I mean, if you want to, sure. My answer was actually Blaze Blue, not memeing on what Sherman said,
Yeah.
but I'm a big fan of not only the aesthetics of
Uh,
the characters in general, but
I
also
think no, no. I think Blaze Blue aesthetic's also really good, but man, Strive just looks way too good.
I don't know. I just can't stand 3D models when I'm
Yeah.
just so used to the 2D sprites. Like 2D sprites look absolutely gorgeous, and I love all of them. And honestly, like if they made me Blaze Blue and it looked like Strive, I'd consider not even getting it
Oh,
because I just not any not the Strive looks bad. Like I think it looks great. But it's just it's not what I'm looking for.
right. That's fair.
But yeah, my answer was Blaze Blue. Uh, Colin's answer was actually Under Night in Birth, which is
Oh.
interesting. Uh,
Yeah.
Gray's answer was just general Final Fantasy,
Fair.
and Kasha's answer was actually Shadowverse.
Shadowverse?
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting. Okay.
So is your answer Guilty Gear Strive?
Mine will be GG Strife.
Okay.
Too pretty.
Are you gonna play it when it comes out?
Oh hell yeah, I am.
Hmm.
But it's probably, but I might not like it because how much they oversimplified everything. So who knows?
Yeah, that's every game these days, though, right?
Yeah. Sucks. You're gonna get the hot Kai. Oh hell yeah, I am. Hell yeah.
What is your favorite genre of video games?
Fighting games and RTS.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when you say RTS, do you mean any RTS or just StarCraft? Because that wouldn't count if it's just StarCraft.
I played Warcraft 3. Played,
Okay.
I played Dawn of War, Warhammer 40K. I love
Halo
it.
Wars?
I haven't played Halo Wars,
Okay.
but
That's the only RTS I've ever played.
Command and Conquer. I have played Command and Conquer, but I was very young when I played that one, so I don't remember too much for that game. But yeah, like RTS games, fun. I like them.
Okay. Okay. Colin's answer was JRPG. Mine is JRPG slash visual novel. Gray's answer was MMO, which I find really funny. Gray. And Kasha's answer was turn-based RPGs.
Oh, does going out with my bro and beating people up also count as a genre? That's one also my favorite genre, dude.
I don't know if that's a genre. But yeah, for me, I've always preferred the single player games. Like those are the games that I find myself most invested in. Like I've dumped a disgusting amount of hours into Blaze Blue.
Yeah.
That's because Blaze Blue has pretty much endless replay value as long as you like the game. Because every fight's gonna be different. It's like that for pretty much every fighting game.
Exactly.
And I do like the game, but I don't like fighting games in general. I just like Blaze Blue. And like just for instance, like I had mentioned it earlier in the stream, but the visual novel slash RPG hybrid I'm playing right now, I'm on 80 hours, almost 90, and only like a week playing. So like I've dumped a disgusting amount of time to it. I'm pretty much done. But regardless, yeah, whenever I play a single player game that I enjoy, I absolutely devote myself to it. Same thing what I said earlier with Final Fantasy. Fire Emblem. Too many Fs.
Yeah.
When I played Three Houses, I had like 110 hours in my first playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just totally kind of sink into games that I really like, which are usually single player games.
Yeah. Fair.
The next question is, what is your favorite video game console?
Does PC count?
No, I was gonna say no, PC does not count. Unless you pretty much only play, use your PC only for gaming, which I don't think you do because you're literally streaming this right now.
Probably the Xbox 360.
Ooh.
Because that's what I played Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Soul Calibur 4, Armored Core, all that. I played with those with my friends back in high school. And I had really, really good times with those games on that console.
Out of all these answers, actually a lot of them are Xbox, which is I respect. Like, we have one Xbox 360, one regular Xbox. Colin's answer was Nintendo DS Lite. Specifically. My answer was also the Xbox 360. Gray's was the Xbox 360. Yours was as well. Kasha said GameCube.
GameCube, yeah, I can see that.
And we have one answer of N64.
Okay.
Yeah, Xbox seems to have been the most popular in general. Though in chat, I do see some PlayStations around the place.
Yep. Yeah, we didn't have PS3s or PS4s. We had Xbox 360s. I also play Halo with them sometimes, but I wasn't that great.
Oh, you gotta play Halo with me on PC.
Ooh, I'm so bad.
It doesn't matter. Kasha's also bad. We play with him sometimes.
Okay.
What's your favorite game development company?
It used to be Blizzard.
Used to be Blizzard?
It used to be Blizzard until they got bought by Activision.
Okay.
But now I hate everyone.
You just hate everyone?
There isn't a single company that makes me it's like, oh my god, this is how it's supposed to be done, yeah, like Blizzard used to. Not anymore. It's over.
You know, it's actually the same thing for me because my original answer was Bandai Namco.
Mm-hmm.
I mainly just said that one because they what created the Tales of series.
Yeah.
But I mentioned it earlier, but the most recent Tales of games have been pretty for me.
Yeah.
Hopefully the new one makes it better, but well, I just have to wait and see on that one. The other games they made, while I've liked some of them, again, like that's kind of what you said. Like the more recent games have been pretty
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Arxis or Axis because I like BlazBlue a lot, but that's all I like.
But the thing is that look at the recent titles, right?
And then like we have Cross Tag.
It's like, what the hell? I didn't ask for this. And like when it comes to netcode as well, it's just overall. Well, I guess that's Japanese fighting game developers in general when it comes to netcode, but just how they respond to player feedback and all that, or critique or whatever. Their communication is really poor, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I guess they kind of tried to step it up recently, like with the whole fighting game conference thing that happened, right?
Yeah, but I don't know what we're gonna get out of that. Hopefully, it's something good.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. Colin's answer was Square Enix.
Square Enix, okay. Square Enix has also been disappointing me, but
Gray was also Square Enix. Kasha's was Intelligent Systems.
Oh, right. Okay.
I believe they're the ones who make Fire Emblem, right?
Yeah. I think. Yeah, it should be. They make a lot of Nintendo titles.
Okay. What's an upcoming game you're looking forward to?
Here's the thing. When I was younger, I used to look forward to new titles and everything, right? But recently, a lot of newer titles has just been so lackluster when it comes to overall everything that I don't look forward to games anymore. It could be that and some mental issues, but we don't need to go over that. But it's just I don't look forward to games. If there's a new title, I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. And then
BlazBlue 5.
BlazBlue, even if a new BlazBlue came out, I wouldn't be hyped.
Yeah,
because
actually,
oh yeah,
if a new BlazBlue game comes out, I would actually not like it. To be honest, I don't want a new BlazBlue game to come out. Unpopular opinion, but
Unpopular. But for me, like I'd be interested. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But the thing is, right, is that fighting game developers in general have just they haven't been doing too well when it comes to overall gameplay, in my opinion, especially Japanese developers. The only time I was hyped for like a fighting game was when Soul Calibur 6 and they announced Siegfried. That was the only time I was ever hyped. But after that, like nothing. So I can't really give you an answer for that one.
Okay. Well, this is like a time-based question. So like when I asked you, it was like kind of in the moment. So the answers I have, it's funny because they've mostly changed because the game's already been released. So you kind of compare and contrast because for Colin, his answer was Final Fantasy 15, which is already out, right? So I actually don't even have Colin even play that game though, to be honest. Let's see. So Gray's answer was originally Under Night.
Under Night.
And then he changed it to the console release of Under Night.
Okay.
Then he changed it to the Heaven's Ward Final Fantasy 14 expansion, then Tales of Disteria, then Dissidia, and then to the WoW expansion.
Dissidia? The new one? Or quote unquote.
What do you say?
Yeah, like the most recent one.
2017. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that was a disaster. Which is a shame because I really like the Dissidia series. Dissidia and Dissidia 012 were great games. I played them a bunch. But what the hell did they do with NT?
I'm not too familiar with the series. But Kasha's answer was actually the Riot fighting game.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But for me, my answer is actually a game that has still not come out yet, technically, which was a translation for a certain visual novel. And the very first time when we wrote answer these quizzes was, I think, in 2012. And the fact that this is still not out yet.
Is it just not popular?
No, it's just, I mean, fan translations can be really slow, or sometimes they could just, just drop altogether. Like this one, I don't think it's dropped. Like I actually still keep track of all the visual novels that are being translated, but it's just very slow. And no, Colin, Hollow Outer X is out already. I just haven't read it yet. But this is not Hollow Outer X yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting, man. It's been 8 years. It's been 10,000 years.
10,000 years.
Still waiting. But I guess if I were to change the answer besides that, there's actually the new Digimon game, Digimon Survive. It was announced like 2 years ago. It was coming out in 2019. I was really excited for it because it was like a visual novel thing, and also I really like Digimon. But it was delayed till 2020, and now we're nearing the end of 2020, and I don't think it's gonna come out yet. We haven't heard any news, so it's probably gonna be delayed again as well, which is unfortunate. But I'm actually moderately excited for that game. Like you, I'm not too excited for games, but
yeah,
that is definitely a game I'm kind of hyped for. I'm still waiting whenever it comes out.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll stream it when it comes out. We'll see.
Yeah. I know some people have been saying Elden Ring.
What is Elden Ring? I didn't see something.
I think it's the next From Software title.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the worst sequel to a game you've played?
Worst sequel to a game I've played?
Yes.
StarCraft 2.
What? Well, I guess if you really liked StarCraft 1, but I thought you liked StarCraft 2.
No.
You just play it because it's StarCraft?
I only play it because that's what people play.
Okay.
Yeah.
What don't you like about StarCraft 2?
It's just the thing about Brood War, right, was micromanagement was super, super important and vital. But in 2, they sort of they simplified it a lot. You know how, like, we're going from BlazBlue to BlazBlue Cross-Tag Battle, like, mechanic-wise, right? It's like that, to going from all these intricate combos into one-button combos. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was for me. And I didn't appreciate that.
Okay. I mean, if you give me an example like that, I guess I can understand.
Yeah. Final L Doctor.
It's like I do play cross tag occasionally. I mean, it's not like I despise the game.
Oh yeah.
It's not like Blaze Blue,
Yeah.
right? I understand that.
Oh, I'm a doctor now. Man, does this jacket make me look like a doctor? I should take it off.
I mean, if you stand up, and it's probably if I wouldn't look like a doctor.
Well, I don't know, because it has the hoodie and everything. Well, let me just go. But
it kind of looks like, yeah. I mean, looks less like a doctor now. Colin's answer was Fable 3. Gray's answer was the 3.5 patch for Heaven's Ward, and then he changed it to Arcade Unchained. Kasha's answer was Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon.
That was bad. That was really bad.
And my answer was Tales of Symphonia 2.
I wouldn't know, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, let's just say you take a game that had a proper ending that didn't need a sequel. They forced a sequel onto it.
Oh, I hate it when they do that.
They changed the personalities of the main cast as well as their voices.
Yeah.
They introduce a new character who will be the main character, as opposed to reusing the cast from the old game, and make the new character very unlikable.
Yeah.
And the game kind of forces you to not use the old cast because the old cast are completely level locked.
Okay.
So if you play the game on normal, it's fine because they join you like at level 30 when you're like a level 30 area. But if you play the game on hard, it's impossible to use them. You have to use like the monster capture system and use like the Pokemon you catch or whatever. So it kind of just relegates the old cast to the back. And it's like, why would you make a sequel and not even use the old cast?
Yeah. Well, it might as well be a different game at that point.
Yeah. On top of that, the game, the story was pretty mediocre. The graphics, well, it was technically better than the old Tales of Symphonia because it's newer, but like the animations were very, very lackluster. Like they were very, very lazy. It was just, it was bad. Yeah, I was so disappointed. Like, it was also for the Wii, and because the original one on the GameCube, and it forced you to use the Wii remote, which I guess isn't that bad, but it can be negative. It was kind of negative for me than like the Wii remote. But I bought my Wii for that game because I love Tales of Symphonia. Let me tell you my disappointment.
Actually,
the Wii,
yeah, go ahead.
The Wii is the only console that I have owned that I've broke and never actually replaced. Like I broke my Xbox a few times. I broke my DS a few times, but I've replaced them. But I've never replaced my Wii because I only bought it for Symphonia 2, and I hated Symphonia 2.
That's fair. What did I use the Wii for? Oh, that balance thingy, the white balance thing you put in the ground and you do stuff with.
Yeah.
I did that a decent amount.
Okay.
And I played Brawl when I was a kid. But other than that, like the Wii didn't really have much use.
What is the worst game you've ever played?
Worst game I've ever played?
Yes.
Sonic Heroes for the PS2.
Is the VOD still there?
I think it's gone.
Oh no!
I know. I forgot to save it. I'm so sad.
Darn it! That was a funny stream.
That hurt me. That hurt me too much.
Do you want to go over why you hated it so much?
Well, it's pretty buggy. And by pretty buggy, I mean extremely buggy. Like there were some sequences where it was so difficult for us to proceed, I literally wanted to quit. Funny thing about Sonic Heroes for the PS2 version, so there were so many bugs that the team lead was like, okay, if there is not a bug that literally prevents the player from proceeding with the game, from reaching the end goal, just disregard it. Yeah.
I didn't know that's how it worked.
Well, but that's because that's just how much bugs there were, and they couldn't fix it in time.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. So, the muddled mess that was PS2 Sonic Heroes. Oh yeah.
Let's see. Colin's answer was Fable 3, same answer as last time.
Mm-hmm.
Gray's answer was Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay.
Kasha's was The Lion King Simba's Mighty Adventure.
He actually played that?
I guess so. And my
man.
answer was Medal of Honor 3.
Okay.
So, with that game, actually, I don't think it was like a really awful game by any means. I actually can't really remember, but I do remember the reason why I did play that game is because my friend bought it for me for my birthday, but he didn't buy it for me because he thought I would like it. He bought it for me so he could play it at my house.
Oh.
So, like, yeah, I don't think like his mom would buy it for him. So his mom bought it for me as a gift. So it gave it to me as a gift. So you just come over and play it, and I'd play with him. I was like, man, I hate this game. It's so boring. Like, why am I even playing this game? I just associate that with a lot of negative memories on that regard.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
And the last question is, what is your favorite game of all time?
StarCraft Brood War.
I mean, once you go through all these questions, eventually, based on your answers, it's pretty easy to figure out.
Yeah, you can pinpoint like what the
Like, for example, like Collins would be Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings. Mine is Tales of Symphonia. Gray's Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
Oh, I just punched myself in the face again. Though Kasha's was actually Super Smash Bros. Melee, which he didn't really answer too many for Melee. But
oh no, but he has. I can definitely see that though, because he's played a lot of Melee when he was younger. That was his go-to game.
There isn't really much I can say about Tales of Symphonia, but I can say the reason why I ever played Tales of Symphonia was back when video rental stores were a thing. When I owned my GameCube, I would go there every week just to rent new games, just to see what to play. And I saw that Tales of Symphonia, whatever it was, I didn't know anything about it. It was like someone was always renting it. They were like, it was never available. So my thought process as a child was, this game must be really good if someone's always renting this, which isn't necessarily true.
Yeah,
because it's a long game, so maybe people are just playing it for a long time. That never occurred to me. That's my young mind was like, oh, this must be a good game because it's always gone.
That's a fair assumption to make, though.
So, well, just on one week, I happened to see that it was available, so I immediately rented it. Like, I was like no thought in my mind. Like, I must try out this game, see what's so good about it. And yeah, it was a really good game. It was a lot of fun. Like, I played it when I was young. I didn't really follow the story too well. There were some really cool moments, but the gameplay was fun. That just supposed to like caught my attention. Like, it was just a fun game, cool story from what I understood. And then I played the game like a lot. Like, it was that fun. And then over the years, I started to understand the story more and more. Because like I never stopped playing that game. Like I learned more and more. You know, just becoming an adult, learning more things, catching these jokes I might have missed before, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And then just recently, last year, I replayed the entire game on my stream. You can check it out at Twitch.tv/Scrimgore.
Hell yeah.
I replayed the game after quite a while of not playing it, and the gameplay still holds up for me, of course. And also the story just felt so much better once again. Like, now that I'd like to think I'm an adult, I understand pretty much everything the game has to tell me. The topics the game tackles, the story, the characters. Maybe not the characters. I still don't really like the characters that much. But the everything about the game I really like. So not only as a child did it entertain me, but as an adult I can appreciate what it's trying to tell me.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, that is my favorite game of all time. And that is also the last question of this questionnaire.
Well, it was really long, but I had a lot of fun with it.
There's actually another questionnaire for anime, which I know you don't watch too much anime, but I'd like to do it with you at some point.
Sure.
Next time, if you ever invite me back on here.
Yeah.
Your answer, Colin, was Revenant Wings.
So the podcast can begin, poggers. No, we hit the 2-hour mark. The podcast, unfortunately, must end. But
yes.
Anime Evo is going on.
My apologies. I guess I kind of took over this podcast.
Oh no! That was really good. I actually enjoyed it a lot. It was a really nice podcast questions. I like them. So thanks for doing it with me.
Yeah, no problem. Like I said, I do have another one. If you ever decide to invite me back, we can do that anytime.
Oh yeah, I'm down. You missed the last question. Favorite game of all time.
Yes, favorite game of all time.
Yes. But yeah, we gotta watch Anime Evo, guys. Support Kasha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For if you caught Anime Evo for PC side, I mean, I was there commentating. Final was there streaming and also commentating. Yeah.
Hey, does anyone have the link to, or who's the person streaming Anime Evo? Let's go raid.
Is it Osugure Dake?
Is it?
I don't know. Like on the left side of my of my Twitch, it says
Oh, yeah,
recommended,
yeah.
and there's like 185 viewers watching Blaze Blue CF on this channel.
All right.
So.
All right. So let's go raid them. But I think we call it for the podcast tonight. You know, thank you very much, Scrimgore, for joining.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm glad I could be here.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was really cool having these conversations. That 30 questionnaire thing, I had a lot of fun with.
Yeah, I mean, I love going over these questions. Like, we have multiple answers on these because every few years or so, me and my friends just go through this again and just see what our answers have changed or anything.
Yeah,
so.
People's perspectives and just their interests just change.
It's always a good time. And there's, like I said, there's another one whenever you get a chance to do it. If you ever would like to, I'd be down.
Hell yeah. But I think we're gonna have to call it here. So for those of you watching, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for stopping by, adding to the conversation. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys. Well, my streaming schedule is down in the channel below, so you'll see when I'm next streaming and all that. But yeah, thank you for watching. See you guys tomorrow, and hope you have English. Hope you all have a good night.
See you all later.
Yeah,
Thanks for watching.
Oh wait, is it exclamation or is it slash raid? I keep forgetting. There we go. All right. Yeah. Let's go. All right. Brother, I'm coming soon, brother. Have a good night, everyone.
Brother.
Bye-bye.
Bye.